While Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the 2024 presidential race has sent ripples around the world, with a number of global leaders reacting to the news. He also endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris and said he would focus all his energy on his duties as president for the rest of the term. Many of his allies paid tribute to his foreign policy achievements and acknowledged the difficulty of this decision. But one question Undaunted is asking tonight is, will Kamala Harris be able to defeat Donald Trump? Well, that's $1 million question. Well, according to Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz, he posted on his X, he says, thanks to Biden, transatlantic cooperation is close, NATO is strong, and the USA is a good and reliable partner for us. His decision not to run again deserves recognition. Amazing. We'll be back after this short break. All right, you're welcome back. So what does Biden quitting this race mean for Harris? Not just Harris, the Democrats, and even Trump. Well, let's just take a look. We'll definitely delve into that on tomorrow's Undaunted. But for tonight, the United Kingdom's Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he respects Mr. Biden's decision and looks forward to working together for the rest of his presidency. In his words, he says, I know that as he has done throughout his remarkable career, President Biden will have made his decision based on what he believes is in the best interest of the American people. Well, do you think he's in the interest of the American people, or he has seen the surroundings of the political atmosphere and has decided to do what's needful? We'll definitely look into that. Well, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau thanked Mr. Biden and U.S. First Lady Jill Biden, calling the president a true friend to Canadians. He says he's a great man and everything he does is guided by his love for his country. Well, this to some noted the difficulty of Mr. Biden's decision to step away from power, but for some others, it's just a mere strategy. Well, Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk said Mr. Biden had made difficult decisions throughout his political career that have kept the world safer and democracy and freedom stronger. In his words, it says, I know that you are guided by the same principles when announcing your latest decision. Perhaps the most difficult one in your life, he said. Mr. Biden has faced intense pressure from recent weeks from, fellow Democrats to step aside after a faltering debate performance against Donald Trump in June. That's not all. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida noted that Biden's announcement is one of the U.S. president's what she considers the best political decision he can make. Now, the Japan-U.S. alliance is the cornerstone of our country's diplomacy and security, so we will monitor the situation closely, Mr. Kishida said. Well, Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, Petr Fiala, described Mr. Biden's decisions to withdraw as a responsible and personally difficult decision, but all more valuable. Well, but for Mr. Fiala also acknowledged growing political uncertainty in the U.S. Well, that's not all. He says, I am keeping my fingers crossed for the U.S. that a good president emerges from the democratic competition of two strong and equal candidates, he said. Italy's Foreign Minister and Deputy PM Antonio Tajani said that his country must look with great serenity to the U.S. as we will work well with whoever the next president is, whether Trump or Harris, he says. Well, Ukraine's leader Volodymyr Zelensky said he respects Mr. Trump's tough but strong decision and thanked him for his unwavering support for Ukraine's fight for freedom. Venezuela's president Nicolas Maduro called it the most sensible and correct decision. I beg your pardon. She says Mr. Biden realized that at that age and with weakened health, he could not assume the reins of his country, let alone a presidential candidacy, Mr. Maduro said at a campaign event for his own re-election. Other Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Russia's priority will still be on its war in Ukraine. A lot can change before the U.S. presidential vote in November, he added. What are those things that can change before the U.S. presidential vote in November? Well, this U.S. election is taking a whole new turn, and so no one can predict at this point. But Undaunted will definitely bring you up to speed with every and all of the latest when it comes to the U.S. elections. And with that, I've come to the end of Undaunted tonight. But before I go, I'll give you the major highlights.